Hey everyone, I'm here for another focus word of the week, which this week is simplicity. And this week is a week before Thanksgiving. So I'm hopefully you are enjoying your time before the Thanksgiving rush and Black Friday and all that fun stuff is underway next week. So this week is simplicity. Maybe that will help us to get into the Thanksgiving theme and Christmas and everything like that. So simplicity. So the verse that goes with it is God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. Of 1 Corinthians 14:33. I think we need peace right now during this holiday season. Stuff takes up our space. Commitments require our time. Investments demand our energy. However, if anyone looked at our lives from a bird's eye view, based on the stuff we have, the commitments we sign up for, and the investments we make, they would assume we have an unlimited supply of both time and energy. We find ourselves begging for more margin in our lives, but we aren't willing to give the discipline or intentionality it takes to create it. In order for us to experience that deep breath and have the space we crave, we must simplify our lives so that we can begin to see clearly again. Tangibly, this looks like decluttering our home, our car, our office, and other spaces we inhabit. When we try to operate in a space that is chaotic, we naturally become poor stewards of the things we have. Our lives feel like a constant game of hide and seek, and our hearts feel the frustration, guilt, and impatience that accompanies it. Spiritually, this practice resembles finding our rhythm and establishing spiritual disciplines within this rhythm that keep us accountable to pursuing the Lord without feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. These rhythms include tending to our space, our commitments, our workflow, and anything that takes up space in our minds. Relationships relationally, this translate to being intentional with our time and our schedules. When we stop trying to be reliant everywhere, we allow ourselves to be effective and helpful somewhere. Think about Jesus. He was a simple man. He did not feel the need to be to be all places at once. He had 12 disciples, even though thousands flocked to him. He was not the most wealthy or seemingly important man according to the so, societal standards of the time at the time. However, it was his attentiveness to his father, his awareness of what was most important, that marked his life. It was actually the simplicity of his life that allowed his message to be even clearer. And overall, these ways of somewhat decluttering our all around us allow us to pursue transformation within us. When we stop distracting ourselves with things to tend to, fix, or maintain, we give ourselves space to know what we actually enjoy, and God's kindness becomes obvious in our lives. Addressing the mess around us allows us to sit down with Jesus as he addresses the mess within us. Simplifying our lives isn't about taking the easy route, it's about removing some of the unnecessary choices we make daily so that we can more constantly choose things that glorify Him. The gospel is simple. May our everyday rhythms reflect that. Focus tip. This week, focus on simplifying your life. Before starting a task or signing up to volunteer at that event, think about simplicity, and ask God whether He wants you to add more to your schedule or if He wants your time spent elsewhere. Jesus, I'm clearing the clutter, making space for you. Amen. Okay, simplicity. And then so I'm doing this in the focus journal. Survey the different areas of your life. What feels cluttered? Investigate your motives. Why do you keep adding on? Marinate on your priorities. Are they receiving your attention? Praying for guidance. How can you simplify? Leave behind what's unnecessary, what's taking up room. Introduce a new way of operating. What can facilitate change? Communicate with Jesus. Where do you need his touch? Ignite lasting rhythms. How can you maintain this lifestyle? Lifestyle. I love that. Tidy up your mind often. What will keep the trash from piling up? Yield and trust God. Will he ever withhold good? Be in this moment and let Jesus speak to you. I think with last week with the word, like with when I said told a story about the woman that didn't speak at all for 6 months or whatever that was. I think that that's kind of part to it. I think these words kind of flow together, the themes, but reflecting your words, but also I've read with dealing with clothes, going through your clothes, is that sometimes we go shopping, we get more clothes, and so then we have a closet full of clothes that we wear maybe a quarter of them, and so then we have to go through them, but we have a hard time letting them go. But one way I heard of is how to help you simplify for the closet for your clothes, is that if you find a dress or shirt or some kind of piece of clothing, that in order to buy one, add to your closet, you also have to take one out. So if you're adding in a shirt, I like this new shirt, that means you have to get rid of one shirt that you're not wearing anymore. So then you're balancing out. Instead of adding, you're maintaining. So that's why I end up thinking you're more maintaining rather than cluttering up your closet. So challenge for you is how do you finding ways to maintain a simple life. So live your faith daily in that.